Hey guys, this is Aubrey with Muttley Plans. I wanted to do a video over my Vanness order. So I did put in an order to Vanness. It was, I don't know, that's how much I paid. I really like Vanness because they give you quite a bit of ink in their samples. And everything, so that you really can get a feel, and you can even get multiple uses out of their samples. I think it's been the last 2 times I've gotten a sample order or anything like that. It's actually been ordered from Vanness. So yeah, anyway. And I thought this was just super cute right here. So I very much appreciated this because the day that this came in, I was actually having a horrendous day. And so when I read this, like, I mean, it didn't make the horrible day go away, but it definitely was a highlight of my day. So I really appreciated that from whoever Mike is. But anyway, yeah, so I got about 9 different samples, and I'm going to actually swatch them with y'all today. I haven't pre-swatched them to know exactly what they look like. I got a mix. So there were a few of y'all, and I'll do a separate video, but there were a few of y'all who sent me suggestions on what I could try that might be close to Noodler's Cayenne. So I'm actually going to do a separate video with some of these inks, so you'll see them again, where I compare them to Noodler's Cayenne to see if there's any of them that are close, because Noodler's Cayenne is one of those that I really like the color. My husband likes the color. It's just a slow dryer, and I can't handle slow drying inks personally, just because I want to write and then be able to shut my book, or at minimum be able to put like a blotter paper in there. And unfortunately, even with the blotter paper, like, you can see all of this orange. This is actually Noodler's Cayenne, and it's so wet that even when I use the blotter paper and put it in between my pages after I've written with it, it still smears on my page, and so that drives me nuts. So I really like the color, but I want something that's going to dry a little bit more quickly. So anyway, yeah, so let's get into my order. Oh, here's my pen. Okay. So, like I said, I haven't pre-swatched any of these, and honestly, some of these I didn't even know. Like, look at this one. That's a lot. But some of these I just thought, that looks pretty, or I think I want to try that. And so like 4 or 5 of these are ones that I got specifically to compare to Noodler's Cayenne, and then others are just kind of like, that looked like it might be interesting. So yeah, righty. So this first one is Papier Plume Maroon. So, and if any of y'all are new, then you might not know, but I actually have a ton of samples, and my goal is, like, I don't really want to spend money and buy a whole bottle of something until I've seen it in a sample or seen it in person. Specifically just because, one, I don't want to be drowning in bottles of ink that I may or may not like. This is a pretty one. And then 2, if I bought a bottle of everything, that's heckin' expensive, and I'm poor. So yeah. So, and this is Papier Plume, and I've never heard of Papier Plume, that I can recall anyway. So if you have and you know anything about it, feel free to inform me in the comments, because I've never heard of them. But I'll be honest, this doesn't look maroon, y'all. It's definitely more of a brownish, like burnt red. Is that even an option to say? Let me turn this light on. I don't know if that helps y'all or not. I'm gonna zoom in, hopefully. There we go. So that's Papier Plume. Papier Plume's maroon. I'm interested to see it in a pin. I'll be honest, I'm not like, oh my gosh, in love with it right off the bat. It also reminds me quite a bit of Diamine Ancient Copper, maybe like a watered down version of that. And I don't really like Diamine Ancient Copper. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how that looks in a pin though. Because sometimes, I will be honest with this, love it. And it's fantastic for stuff like this, where I'm just wanting a quick swatch and to write with. But this is actually, this writes very broad, and it's most likely user error, frankly, but it seems to not disperse the ink very consistently, if you will. So if you see this is really dark and wet here, and then as you run out, as you do, because, like, you know, it's what it is, it's a dip pen, it just gets lighter and lighter, and so I'll be interested to see how this looks in a pen, because sometimes it looks like a completely different ink in a pen. So, all right, this next one is Pannonia, which I don't know why I shook it. It doesn't look like it has any shimmer, but Pannonia, and I'm gonna mess this up quite a bit, but Res Koros Copper. If you know what Res Koros means, let me know. I'm probably going to Google it after this, because I don't know. But anyway, so Res Koros Copper, and this is Pannonia. Ooh, that's a pretty, like, that's an orange for sure. Wowzers. It's not a bad orange. It's very, it looks like it's gonna be a very wet ink. I'm interested to see how it dries. Very interesting. You know, this is only the second Pannonia ink that I've had, so I'm definitely not, like, you know, the end-all be-all on them. But I have noticed that their inks, like, I have another one of theirs that's Pannonia Piora, and I noticed that one, I like it, but it seems to, like, I don't know, it's this weird, like, it goes down very light, but then it dries a lot darker than what it went down as. So I'm interested to see if this does the same. So this is Pannonia, and oh, I'm going to Res Koros, and then Copper. Ooh, and you may hear lifing in the background. My husband is playing. And then also, of course, the dogs own our house, so you probably will hear somebody shake, scratch, snore, all of the things. And I love every moment of it. So If you're new here, then you may not know, but I don't do a whole lot of like where I'm talking videos, just because my husband and we share a studio by choice. He is a gamer, I am a journaler, and fountain pen and knitting and all of that. And we just love sharing the same space, even though we're not doing the same things. So anytime that I do a video, anything like that, that's actually our time, my husband and mine's. And so that's why I do more voiceover content versus talking. Because also the flip side of that is you definitely can hear the clicking and all of the things. But I love it. So this next one is another Pannonia ink. And it is Pannonia Rocca, Fox Friend. So, you know, I'm beginning to wonder if Rescoros is copper in some other language, and if this Rocca means fox friend in some language. I'm very interested. I wonder what country. Anyway, no need to hunt squirrels. We are swatching. So, anyway, so let's see what this swatch is up as. I'm pretty sure this is one of the inks that one of y'all, oh my goodness. Yeah, this is one of the inks that one of y'all recommended. And that is a gorgeous, wow. Wow. That's a gorgeous orange. That is vibrant. Wow. Okay, I'm impressed. I'm very interested. Oh, can y'all even see this, by the way? You know what? I'm exclaiming over this stuff and y'all can't even see it. Y'all forgive me. That's what I get for zooming y'all in. So Pannonia, this is what it swatched up as. It is, wow. And this is Pannonia. And then Rocca. Comma. And wow, that is a gorgeous ink. That's a beautiful orange. I really like that quite a bit. That is like wabam in your face. Wow. Yeah, I can't wait to see it dry. Yeah, but also look back at this Pannonia Rescoros copper. And if you look, it's darkened, and that's what I'm talking about. The other Pannonia ink that I have, the Pannonia Piora, it does the same thing. Like, it goes down super light, and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to read my journal when I want to look back later, and then I look back later and it's dried and I can see all of my writing, no problem. It's very interesting ink. I can't decide if I like it or not because I like to actually see when I write down stuff immediately, but we will see how that goes. I'm gonna bump this up. All right, so the next one in line is a very, very shimmery ink. Like, I don't know if you look at that. I hope you can see. Well, maybe I mixed it together, but if I let it just rest for a second and then I turn it, oh my gosh, it's, maybe y'all can't see it and I just wasted several seconds trying to show you, but it's that's a lot of shimmer. Hopefully it comes down onto the paper. I'm not a huge fan of shimmer inks personally. Ooh, but that's pretty. just because, like, they don't always do well in my pens, and it aggravates me if the shimmer isn't consistent in the writing. And it looks like it's gonna have like a tan base, and then it's almost a green color on top of here. I'm interested to see how it dries. All right, got a little bit. And this is Vinta, which I've never tried a Vinta ink before. I have heard the name, but I've never tried it before. And it's Isabella. Okay, and that's Vinta Isabella. And it's also, hopefully y'all can see, I don't know if you can, but it's kind of got almost like, it started off tan, but now it's kind of got a pink undertone. And then on top, this is turning more gold. Really interested to see how that looks here in a second. All right, next, and I am just kind of like worried that you can't see. Okay, you're good. I'm worried now that I did that once that I'm gonna put it where y'all can't see. So the shaking is me getting on my tippy toes just to look and see if y'all are within frame and all that. Sorry. The next one up is Dominant Industry Earl Grey Tea. I think this is also one that somebody recommended to try as a potential dupe for Cayenne. Ooh, that one's real nice. I wonder if it's not going to be a little bit too orange, but I guess we'll have to see. But wow, that's a gorgeous orange. I'm just gonna dab a little bit there. Get it nice and wet. That's beautiful though. It's kind of like a, I don't even know, but that's beautiful. Does Earl Grey tea really look this orange? Or are they taking some literary license with this Dominant Industry? Okay, and I'm not going to put the whole name for Dominant Industry because I don't want to go into that part. And it's Earl Grey tea. There you go. I'm interested to see because that is, wow, both of these are, wow, gorgeous. Oh, here's the cap. Beautiful. All right, we got 4 more. And I'm gonna pull this down, so bear with me through all the shakes. All right. So the next one I think is another shimmer. Oh yeah, that's either that or something happened with it. I can't decide. Maybe it got too hot. That's really weird. I'm curious. Yeah, I can't tell if that's just the bottle that's been stained or, ooh, that's real red. That's real red. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, this is Noodler's Atlantic Salmon Highlighter. Dadgummit, why did I get another Noodler's? Hopefully this one will be a little bit more dry. That is gorgeous. Let me just put just a little swoop there. And let me make sure y'all are In frame, you are good. Wow, that is very pink and very beautiful. And if it's a slow dryer again, this may be the next one that I have to try and find a dupe for. Dadgummit. Honestly, I love Noodler's ink so much. It's just that it doesn't dry quickly. And so that is like why I don't want to get a whole bottle of these different inks that I fall in love with of theirs. Like, truly, they're just like, they look gorgeous, but you know, it's kind of like, what was that was like a huge thing on like TikTok, social media, whatever. It's like, she's a 10, but, you know, that's kind of my relationship with Noodler's ink. And then again, also, this is, I don't know if you can tell, but in the writing, this is like feathering quite a bit. So maybe I don't, or maybe I do want to look for this color, but you know, it might not be a drying issue with this ink this time. It might actually be a, it spreads. I don't know, goodness. But that is gorgeous. I don't know that salmons actually look like that, but it's pretty. Oh, this next one. So this next one, Diamine Red Edition, Brandy Snap, is actually one that I saw. I think, wow, that twang came out, didn't it? I think I saw this one on Time with Tata, her channel, and she had it, or maybe it was Christina Loves to Plan, one of those two. And I was like, wow, I really like that. I should try that. And so I got it. And you know, probably why I liked it so much was because it looks strikingly similar to Ferris Wheel Press Autumn in Auburn, which is like, as of right now, ooh, I don't know, Bluegrass Velvet though. I don't know, man. But Ferris Wheel Press Autumn in Auburn is like beautiful. Gold, 10 out of 10. But so is Bluegrass Velvet. Dang. But anyway, this looks very similar to Ferris Wheel Press Autumn in Auburn, which tells me, and I'll use it, I mean, but that tells me I probably don't need a bottle of this. But we'll see how it dries. Maybe it dries different. But I also don't want to have like a ton of ink bottles that are in a similar color, because I feel like if the color is too similar, then I will always be preferring one over the other. And also both of them could be used for the same theme or purpose and all of that. And so I don't want to, you know, do that. Okay, so we got the last two coming in. So this next one I actually chose myself. Pat on the back, I know. Dominant Industry Maple, because it looked very, or no, dadgummit, I think somebody else may have mentioned this one too, come to think of it. I'll have names and stuff when I do the actual comparison video, because, ooh, guys, you know, I want to give credit where credit is due to the people who suggested these, you know. But wow, that's pretty. I'm very excited to do the comparison video now, because I really wonder, let me move that out of the way. I really wonder which one's going to be close, or if there's going to be multiple of these that could be used. So this is Dominant Industry. And this is Maple. That's beautiful. I'm excited to see how it dries, because this Pannonia, I don't even know if you can see it. Yes, you can. This Pannonia Rockacoma it dried really well. So I'm excited to see this one dry as well. All right, last but not least, we have Diamine Autumn Oak. And I feel like this one may be one that I chose, but I don't know. Oof, that's pretty. Oh, wow. That is like, honestly, it reminds me of like the inside of a fire. It is, wow. I like that. I like that a lot. That's dangerous. Maybe I have a thing for trees. I don't know. All right, Diamine. And then this is Autumn. Wow. Wow, so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna let all of these dry. Oh, wow, Isabella's gorgeous. Anyway, squirrel. So, I'm gonna let all of these dry a little bit, and then I will come back and I'll kind of do like a little slow roll. And that way y'all can see them all once they've dried, because these two are the last two that I did, and they're still pretty wet. So I'm going to give them time, and then I'll be back. All right, so this is what everything looks like when it is dried. So a couple of these surprised me. Forgive the finger in the frame. So Papier Plume Maroon is actually brown. But you know, I kind of like it, but it does remind me just a smidge of Diamine Rosewood. So again, that's one where I'm interested to see how it writes coming out of a pen. So I'm kind of excited to ink that up. That might be my brown that I ink up in my TWSBI espresso for the month of July, because I like that quite a bit. And then this Pannonia Rescoros Copper is very pretty, and so looking at it through the lens, it to me looks through the lens like it's a very highlighter orange, when in fact it's not. It's actually, if you've ever seen a fillet of salmon before it's cooked at the store or whatever, that's the color that it gives in person. And then you've got Pannonia Roca Coma, Fox Friend. That is gorgeous, and I wish, maybe if I zoom in, you can kind of see the different tones just within that swatch. This is another one I'm excited to ink up because it is gorgeous in person. And then you have Venta, and I can see the, I can definitely see the shimmer. This one is beautiful in person. So something, it looks kind of a brown gray on camera. Oh, gorgeous. With just like a gold shimmer. But actually in person, it gives off a little bit of a pink undertone to it. And I'm excited to write with this one as well. So yeah, I'm already thinking of pens to ink this stuff up in. And then Dominant Industry Earl Grey Tea is a showstopper when it dries. Like, wow, look at, I love all of that ridging. So I think, is it shading? Maybe it's shading. I don't know. I'll have to look, or somebody can tell me in the comments. But I just love this right here. Oh, it's beautiful. I'm excited to see how it writes coming out of the pen as well. And then moving up, Noodler's Atlantic Salmon Highlighter is a little bit of a disappointment. So the swatch, gorgeous. The writing sample, atrocious. So I don't know, and I'm going to expose the, yeah, look at how badly it goes through the paper compared to everything else. And I'm pretty sure that's not the one that, like, I put the most on. So that's crazy. Diamond Brandy Snap, I may have to do a side-by-side comparison. My husband was actually like, because of course when I paused, I had him come look. But my husband was like, ooh, I like that one. And I was like, it looks just like Autumn and Auburn. So I want to do a side-by-side comparison on this Diamond Brandy Snap. And then Dominant Industry right here. Maple. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Like, it's, in person, it's like a beautiful orangey red, but it's more on the red side. So that's beautiful. And then Autumn Oak is gorgeous. That's honestly, out of all of them, is probably my favorite that I got. Because it is just, it's, yeah, wow. That and Earl Grey Tea is beautiful, and maple. So, yeah. Anyway, this is my most recent Vanness order of samples for the month of June. Just a quick scan. And yeah, I hope y'all really enjoyed this video. If you did, consider giving it a like, maybe a thumbs up. And also, if you want to subscribe. If you have any other suggestions on other matches for Noodler's Cayenne, or even this Noodler's Atlantic Salmon, please let me know. Or if there's any other inks that you think I should try and get samples of, please put them down in the comments. Other than that, I hope y'all have a fantastic day. Bye.